All right, guys. It's Tuesday morning. Bills are paid. I still got a little bit of a net profit, but not a hell of a lot. Paying the bills. For now, I'm gonna have to just watch my P's and Q's for a few days because bills went a little bit higher than I normally like them to go. So I figure I can see my hair without the headphones on. You always can see my headphones, but you really don't see my hair. So now we got the headphones on like usual. Anyway, so it's I know I'm early. There's no one here yet. Woo! You're early. Yep. And there's no one here. Wonder why. No. I don't know either. Alright, anyway. Well, let's see. It's Tuesday morning. I got the bills paid. That's step one for today. I'm still dealing with getting everything with the Mojave dealt with in this Mac here. Unlike what was supposedly the case with the cam twist, it still works on Mojave. I don't know if it would work on a Catalina. I don't know. I'm not using Mojave cam twist anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Somebody obviously gave a like, so I know it's working. I let the guys know on the Discord that we are live. Don't know where everybody is. Well, you didn't. What? You didn't post a link in the show? I did. Oh, yeah. Yes. You didn't. Oh. Alright, I pasted it on every other place. Okay, so now you can see my hair, and it's just kind of cute thumbnail in its own way, I guess. So anyway, the point is that we're live, but there's someone here. We don't know why. Maybe somebody else ended up doing a bender or something. Who knows? Yeah. Anyway, so Ed's doing okay. He was very hungry. He had 2 breakfast sandwiches from Cumbies. Egg and cheese. It came with bacon, but he didn't want the bacon, so I had the bacon. But then I had also the sausage, egg, and cheese. And that's pretty much what we did overall this morning. Someone's finally coming on. Yay! Whoever you are, thank you for coming on. I was getting kind of bored over here. I was starting to feel like the Maytag repairman. You killed me. Just a busted plug. Yep, I could have fixed it myself. Why don't you call me? Gets kind of lonely out here. Lonely. I don't know what you mean by lonely. Sadly enough, the real Maytag repair guys ain't so lonely. They're busy. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so we got the system fixed. Yeah, we got the Discord to work again with a virtual camera, so OBS. Looking at the script, it had something to do with code signing of the driver or something. I don't know. So we got that fixed. Now it accesses the virtual camera properly now in Discord. Yay! I saved the script anyway, just in case we need to go back and run it again when they do updates or something. And now my next thing to do is to back up the Mojave to an SSD. Yeah. And the reason I say that is because we have an idea we're going to try. The first thing is, oh, you just lost the viewer. Oh, they just came back. Are they making a roller coaster or something? Looks like, looks like it. So 3 playbacks, and I think they were hoping it was going to be like last night, or last night was going to be like the pinnacle show. Last night, let me just explain for those of you who are still watching about last night. Last night was originally going to be on Discord, but we knew that the reality is that a good portion of people would not know how to get to it on Discord, or didn't know we would be on Discord. So we chose instead to put it on YouTube instead. We tried to simultaneously stream to Discord and YouTube, only to find ourselves using a huge amount of bandwidth. Now, if I switch on this Frontier or T-Mobile instead of Frontier, we probably would have been fine. But we were doing it from Frontier, and it's really, really hard to change internet providers midstream. So it was just easier to just forgo the Discord. And just finish the show on YouTube last night. For the Discord, we are going to try to get the phone numbers working again. There's a whole bunch of ways to do that. The easiest way, I think it looks like a roller coaster. It does. Yeah. Up and down, plateau, you just hit the big hump, all of a sudden, whoop, bam, the whoop. You go up and down like a yo-yo. How you doing, Carlos? First person to say hello today. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Waiting for everybody else to show up in the chat. I don't know if Monica's feeling any better. I don't know if Andrew's feeling any better. I know Ed's feeling a little bit better. Of course, Ed's still suffering some stiffness in his joints from the gout. And so we're going to try to get him all straightened out. Make him all happy and groovy. And get him in good standing. So, and we got 4 watchers. Come on, where the hell is the rest of you guys? I know it's Tuesday morning. I know Social Security checks went out today. I know you guys are probably sitting there paying your bills. I know. I just got done doing that about 9:30. So I'm familiar with the routines of when bills come in and it's the 3rd of the month and whoop, pay them up, whoop, And then they wonder why you start feeling like, you're kind of feeling kind of empty financially. Like, gee, I paid all my bills. I feel so empty. Well, it's because you basically just did the equivalent of a financial enema and basically emptied your wallet. That's true. Wow. So, where is my panel? Well, I don't know. Where is the panel? I mean, I know there's a person named Sophie that was trying to reach me on the Discord. People Peace came on and commented on a video yesterday. Sissy Gal came back onto the Discord yesterday. Carlos is here. And but it seems like it's like, where is everybody? It's like, wow, this place is like dead. You know? I mean, I don't know, where did you guys go? Well, first of all, what's the latest news on the stimulus check? I don't know. What's the latest news on the debt ceiling? I have no clue. I know that Janet Yellen has said that as of Monday, they were hoping that Congress was going to deal with the debt ceiling. Did Congress deal with the debt ceiling? I haven't read anything in the news to indicate that they dealt with it at all. Which is bad, because that means that the United States is going to default on their bills. I get it, United States government. I get it. I know what you're talking about when you feel like you can't pay your bills because you're running out of money. Except the difference is your limits are self-imposed. In my case, my limits are not so much. My limitation is because of practical limitations. So the bank only has so much money in the account, and I have to pay with what I got. And then it's the difference. You guys can go ahead and say, we need more money. Fine, raise the debt ceiling. Sure, gladly. Yeah, I wish I could do that, don't you? I need more money. Okay, fine. Raise the bank account. All right. I wish I could do that. I can't. So, what it means in my case is I'm trying to keep my head above water. Now, actually, this month might be doing better than some months. How you doing, Johnny? Welcome to the show. You and Carlos are the only two that were here. Yeah. I mean, other people were here, but they're not talking. Yeah. Wonder if those are the ones that kind of got snarled up in the 1 day rule. Just for those of you who did get snarled up in the 1 day rule, here's how that works. Okay? Very simple. You have to be subbed for 1 day. Now, it's not impossible. It really isn't. You can be subbed for 1 day. Okay? So you have to be subbed for 1 day if you're not a sub. Okay? You can't post if you're not a sub. Okay? First of all. So you have to be subbed for a day before you can post. So let's say, for example, you subscribed this morning at 10 a.m. That means tomorrow at 10 a.m. you can actually post. Right. And if you think, yeah, good, fine, I can say you're an asshole, and then you can basically unsub, and then you can come back the next day and go resub and say, you're another asshole. Nope, you gotta wait another 24 hours. You gotta wait another 24 hours. So if you're gonna keep saying I'm an asshole, you might as well basically stay subbed, so you know that you can still do that. I mean, that's, I guess it's kind of like when you, I don't know, it's kind of like when you buy something that has a waiting period. How did last night go? Last night went fine. It was fairly calm, quiet, cool, no problem. Next Monday night we'll be on Discord exclusively. We're gonna try to get the phones working on Discord. Ideally, I was gonna try to just use the software version instead of using the hardware phones, but I don't think it's set up for that right now, so I'm gonna have to set up maybe the hardware device to deal with the phones. So, because it's getting more and more complicated when you start having a million buttons to press on the computer, then it just gets more aggravating. Nice to have a dedicated hang up and answerable phone buttons. So, because we have the phone interface that connects the phone system to the computer. So, but it went fine. We had no problems. We upgraded the software on the computer a couple days ago. We upgraded to Mojave, which is theoretically the last version that my 2009 Mac Pro can use. But that's kind of questionable because I've seen people running Catalina on this machine, maybe even Big Sur. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of interested in doing it, but it's an Intel Mac. Apple's gone to the ARM processor line, so there's really no reason to rush out and keep trying to avoid the inevitable that everything's going to the ARM chipset, which is really kind of a variation of the PowerPC chip. So if you think about it, because that's what it is, the M1 chip has a lot of common instructions, ideas with the PowerPC line, such as the G5. The opcodes are different hexadecimal numbers, but the idea is the same. And they're both RISC processors, reduced instruction set chipset. Okay. So basically, meaning that the way Apple is kind of reverting back to what they were when they said think different back in their Think Different campaign by returning to a non-Intel chipset. I mean, the Intel chipset for what was for Apple was fine. They was faster than what they could do with IBM in the PowerPC line of chips. Because the problem with the PowerPC line of chips was IBM wasn't really able to get the speed up and keep the energy consumption down. If you ever looked inside my G5, you see these big two towering heat sinks. I mean, they are enormous. That's just where a processor runs at 2 gigahertz. Now, compare that with what this processor runs at, which is about 2.77 gigahertz. The heatsink is still massive, but it's 4 cores, whereas the other one, it was single core chips. There was 2 of them, and they had 2 massive heat sinks. I mean, that stick up about 8 inches tall. So that's pretty tall heat sinks, and that adds a lot of weight to the machine. Plus, they're power-hungry little monsters too. My God, the Power Mac G5. I mean, that sucker consumes a lot of power. 650 watts, I think. Yeah, something like that. Wow. And the quad core is liquid cooled. But as we know, anybody who ever liquid cooled a computer can tell you liquid cooling is also a pain in the neck, because you got to make sure you don't get leaks. And some of the early liquid cooled G5s, quad cores, used a refrigerator or a liquid coolant antifreeze that was extremely nasty. It would corrode the motherboard It wasn't salt water. It was something else. It was just also was corrosive to skin. So, and in fact, if you ever see what it does to the internal the computer motherboard, it just totally eats right through it. Skunk Ape, I don't think he's interested in the pizza, but he did have 2 breakfast sandwiches for breakfast. I had leftover pizza last night. He didn't. So where is the computer era going to? Well, I hope it's going to be going to something that is less energy consuming because my God, I mean today's computers, you got Energy Star compliance and everything else, and one of the things that frustrates people in the West Coast in Vermont is, certain kinds of computer motherboards are prohibited from sale in certain states because of power consumption. It's a little more complicated than just saying your computer uses too many watts. Of course, the lawyers get involved and make things even more complicated than they have to. But the truth of the matter is that I have to pay a huge electric bill, and honestly, if I can save money, I will take it. Hi, Krill, how you doing? I don't know where everybody else is. There's really not too many on right now. I don't know if most of them are lurking. I think most of them are lurking. Or maybe somebody had a headbanger last night and basically didn't get up in time. Living the dream. How so? I'm not really living any dream. I'm living a fucking nightmare. If I was living my dream, I would actually already be living in Silvermoon, and I already would basically be, enjoying my time with my Cinder brothers and sisters and not worrying about making sure to pay my bills on time, which I already paid all the bills. Thank God they're all paid. It just takes time in the morning. Michelle didn't get a lot of sleep. No, I was kind of grumpy. I was just like, just so much to do. I'm just looking forward to the day I can just finally just basically punch the clock and say, head home to the other side and go, Mom, I've done my chores. I've done my job. Now I'm going to go take my holiday. I'm going to go home, go visit the Hall of Records, the Hall of Wisdom, have a good time. Before I come back home, and go to the real world version of the Cinderai and deal with my new life over there. I need a few days to kind of straighten out things. Because, it's so easy to forget how much we're so interconnected to everybody. We keep forgetting that. I'm not going to retire yet. Because I'm not doing my chores yet. I got a long way to go. I don't know what this life chart has written in it, but damn, it ain't no easy one, that's for sure. Hi, Democles, how you doing? So we upgraded the operating system to Mojave so we can continue to play World of Warcraft. And so that's all up to date. I don't know what else I have to update. I don't know either. I had to upgrade the Mac ports package. That took a while. My mother is. My dad is passed on. Yeah, my mom's still alive. My dad went home some time ago. He was a pretty good guy. He was a good humanitarian. He was a Libra. He was really a loyal guy. He taught me a lot about business and business transactions. So I understood the way the world worked, ways that maybe it was a little more deeper of an education than most people would be ready for. But this Virgo don't stop learning, so this Virgo keeps going. Period. That's just me. And of course, like I said, I'm taking care of Ed and his situation. He's getting better. He says he's gonna more than likely very shortly start walking a little bit more. But it's still just a lot of energy and time to help him out as he recovers from his gout attack. And I'm just, you know, it's just exhausting. There's so much going on you don't know behind the scenes. And the fact is that, I am, I have to keep an eye on the house and keep an eye on the cat and keep an eye on Ed and, you know, and find out, for example, like, pay the bills, make sure the phones are paid, make sure the internet's paid, make sure my insurance is paid for my medical. It's just a lot of stuff to do. And it takes time to make sure everything is perfect. So today, I already let the landlord know his rent is ready, so he has to come by and pick it up. Uh, that's why you're. Oh, right. Yeah, right. Right. Forget about that. Because we're wondering why you have 111 left, but if you subtract $30 that my landlord let me take off the rent for the stop payment on the first rent check got lost. That's why you have 30 extra bucks, which is good. Oh, just a little tired. It's been a lot of stuff going on. It's just my days have been for the last few days. I've been worrying about Ed and trying to make sure Ed's okay with his gout, which is doing better, but it's still getting up every 2-3 hours and helping him admit his needs and then go back to sleep and then work on the computer for a few hours and then try to go back to sleep and wait the computer to get done with the job. And yeah, I am a little bit depressed. I'm a little bit tired. I mean, it's a long day. It's just a lot of stuff to do by myself, and it takes a lot of energy. And then it came on this morning, and of course, it was just like I said at the beginning of the show, was where the hell was everybody? Monica's not feeling well. Andrew's not feeling well, as far as I know. He was having complications from an injury from 3 months ago. So those are 2 mods that are not here. And I gotta wait for my landlord to come by and pick up his rent check. So yeah, sometimes I get down. And at least the good news is my own joints are doing okay. Let me see how many people are watching right now. 10. Huh, okay. Let me ask those 10 people a question. If you could have anything in the world you wanted, anything, I mean, anything. Even if it's to the point of ridiculous. What would you want that you feel would make you happy? What would be the thing that you feel would make you feel like you achieved something? That's the question. It could be anything. No holds barred. If there's anything in this world that you really wanted, even the impossible, what would you want? Well, winning the lottery ticket, okay. What would you do with the money? Okay, well, okay. But if there's anything you want, is there anything you really wanted that you don't have? You'd be surprised how many people have things that they wanted but they never could have for whatever reason. It's a very good question, but letting someone know what you really want is vulnerable. Krill, maybe you may seem like it's vulnerable, but the truth of the matter is, I like to think of, the concept of wishing upon a magic star or something. Maybe in some way by saying what you want, maybe it might happen for you. Maybe a secret Santa or something, or could give it to you. Whatever it is you wanted. People are already being kicked out of their homes. Videos are popping up all over. Oh, yes, I know they are. Carlos. I have to be honest, that's one thing I wish for those people was I wish that we could have made their lives a lot easier. The problem is that the government basically, many Democrats went on holiday and then left Washington and didn't vote on extending the eviction moratorium. These are the guys that think that they care about so much about the constituents, but they couldn't resist but to go home and couldn't even bother vote on extending the eviction moratorium. What kind of people are they? Let's just say I don't think they're very good examples of what they truly believe in. Where are we going to live to chef? I keep one close to my chest and stranger praise in a cup to hold alcoholic beverages. Well, one of the things I ever wanted to do is what I'm doing, believe it or not. Well, that and live in a community where, people treat each other decently. Well, we do here, you know. And I like being, a little bit on the fringe. Not too bad. I mean, the ears don't make me exactly too fringy, but they they certainly stick out. People like the ears. They keep getting thank you. Oh, you love your ears comments everywhere. People need to pay their rent. People needed the money to pay the rent. And the problem is so many of them lost their jobs that they couldn't afford to pay the rent. And things are going up in price everywhere. We're not talking about the deadbeats. The deadbeats, I have no empathy for the deadbeats. The deadbeats it could have, didn't. Well, that's their own damn fault. The ones that tried and couldn't, I have empathy for you. I understand what you're going through. Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with being a little fringy. Me and Lumi already amended our life chart for the next life. We've already changed it a tad. Because Mother God said there indeed is a real Cinderai culture. The Cinderai are the blood elves of World of Warcraft. She said there are the real ones. And that they're part of the participating program that they have for people who want to live another world experience. And so we decided to go there because, honestly, Captain, beam me up, Scotty. There is no intelligent life on this planet anymore. Just take a look what's going on right now. What bureaucrats can allow this to happen to people? I don't know who they are, but I still think that they're doing a terrible job on everybody. No, I know landlords don't get to live for free. They got to pay the mortgage and taxes on those properties. Absolutely. No, they're getting the squeeze because those same properties, they were protected under a foreclosure moratorium. Okay, we got Gianni wants to come on. Let's get him on here. Good morning. How's it going?
Hey, good morning, Michelle.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I thought I'd pop in. Sound like you're my lonesome there. I'm not going to be able to monitor the chat or anything. I can hear you keep you company.
Yeah, well, I'll keep an eye on the monitoring of the chat while you hand out your mail bundles.
Thank you.
Carlos said, I felt bad that they had garbage bags of the personal belongings out on the curb. You know what's going to be worse? There's not going to be any place to put those garbage bags of stuff. Let me be honest when I say this. Because the truth is, most of the towns do not have a place for you to store your stuff. In the case of Willimantic, if they evict you, they'll put the stuff in the town garage for about a week before they throw it to the dumpster. Unfortunately enough, most communities don't have that. And so if you get evicted, your stuff ends up in the street, and the landlord can keep whatever he damn wants. Especially if it's furniture. If they can't bring it out to the curb, they're gonna leave it in there, and the landlord's gonna declare it's his. In some states, that's totally illegal to do that. Right, I agree with that. About not paying the rent, I agree. But like I said, it's not those that did try to get the help they needed. I have no empathy for. It's the ones that did try, who did not try to get assistance. I don't have any empathy for, because those are the deadbeats, the ones that did not try, the ones who couldn't care less. You know, and I think Gianni, I think you would agree with me on that. Those who made every effort to get eviction and rental protection
How are you?
money.
I'm all right. Good. Not great, but all right.
That's all we can ask for, right?
Thank you.
You have a great day.
Yeah. Of course, he's on his route right now delivering mail, so he's probably, you're going to be hearing voices and stuff, and it's okay. Don't worry about it, Jen. You don't have to mute yourself unless you want to.
All right, I have no way of like quick muting, so
Okay.
I just take my headphone and I just hold it in my hand. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I understand you're doing your job, you know. But you would agree with me on this, though, for those people that did make an effort to get the rental assistance, but for some reason were not able to get it in time, that those people deserve our empathy, because those are the ones that are trying to do the right thing. But the ones that could not care less, that were just playing the system, those people really don't deserve our empathy because they already knew what they were doing was wrong and they're not helping anybody.
I mean, I agree with that.
First of all, Skunk
It
Gabe,
kind
I
of
don't know if
reminds
that's
me.
entirely true because I pay my rent every month on time. I've been paying it for 100%, except when I was over at Patty's house, on time. I had been here for, oh my God, I would just say 20, 16, 17 years. I paid my rent on time every month. And the people I know of, they pay their rent on time to the best of their ability. Carlos said, "What about the slumlords that don't that deserve it? That take months to fix a sink or toilet, or hound you when your rent's due? That hoard the money like greedy scumbags." Well, first of all, yes, there is those two, but in some ways, remember karma. They're gonna get their karma's worth. Because karma will be balanced. That's the nature of the way karma works. Karma always will get balanced out. Rusty's here, by the way. Let me get Mr. Cat on the camera. You guys like Mr. Kitty. Alright, Rusty? Yeah. Yeah. So, the point is that those people who, landlords or tenants alike, the landlords that don't want to do the work are going to get tenants that are going to give them the shaft. Okay? So in a way, the landlord gets the karma back. You act like a miser and don't do what you need to do, then you're going to get tenants that are not going to do what they're going to do, which is the responsibility of paying the bills and paying the rent go hand in hand. Okay? If you got a good landlord and they pay the bills and they do their best to fix the stuff, and then you get tenants that trash their buildings and put graffiti in the hallways, then guess what? That's not fair to all the landlords either, because that hurts them too. Because those tenants are treating that good landlord, even if they're a good landlord, like crap. What, Rusty? Come on.
Attention, a dog or animal alert has been reported in your area. Attention, multiple hazard alerts have been reported in your area.
Multiple hazard recorded in your area. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's just a
Craig
warning they give
said,
us
"I have
at the beginning of each
rent house people mow the lawns, trash your houses, and then don't pay the rent on time." So how does it help anyone with an overpopulation of the homeless? It doesn't. In fact, that's what makes it worse, is the homeless population we already have is being underserved, as it is. David Clay said, "I have a neighbor who got kicked out and they bought all of the stuff not paying their rent. And they bought all the stuff by not paying the rent. They got a dog, a pool, a TV, a new grill, all without paying the rent. The little old man who rents out the house." Again, karma. That's karma. Okay? So those people are the ones who are going to be experiencing karma. Remember, as I said, the scales are going to be balanced. Because the universe does not like when a good deed doesn't be rewarded or a bad deed doesn't go unpunished. Craig Sr. says, "Carlos, I would base whatever I paid rent on how well my needs were taken care of. When I had something broken or needed to be fixed, that was pretty important. If they didn't give a damn, no rent." Yeah, there's people in the Department of Social Services that were telling a lot of the Latinos the same thing. If your landlord doesn't want to fix your problems, then you don't pay him rent. But that technically in the state of Connecticut is illegal because that's not the way it works. But yeah, the deliver at the same time those landlords and those tenants both get a bad reputation. Carlos said homeless people are already flooding the streets in California. Imagine everyone being infected now at the same time. How does that help anyone? The crime rate will obviously go up. The crime rate is already going up, Carlos. The crime rate is off the charts. Okay? It's going crazy out there. And you know what the sad truth is? The Democrats can't fix the problem because they're the ones who keep saying defund the police, defund the police, defund the police. And then they wonder why the crime rate's going through the roof. Next thing you know, what you're going to have people have open carry of knives, swords, guns, and blackjacks and brass knuckles. Because the obvious reasons. They're going to have to defend themselves because you can't call a policeman to help you. You might as well know CPR too, because in case you need to help somebody because you can't get emergency services, if you have a friend has a heart attack or can't get you a medical care, because no one in the system can help you because they have been defunded and been told that they can't serve you. Yeah.
That whole defunding the police thing, it's the stupid, most myopic view of how to better things.
Yeah. You're right. It is stupid. It doesn't make any sense to defund the police.
My leg hurts. That's like saying my leg hurts and the doctor says, okay, we'll cut it off. No, it just hurts a little.
Right. Well,
don't cut my leg off.
And the problem is that the New York City Police Department, NYPD, is going to be having a large number of the officers choose early retirement. So that they need to get new men in blue, and they just don't have the funds to pay them.
I do agree there are issues with law enforcement, but defunding them is not going to solve it. It's putting a Band-Aid on a hemorrhage.
Right. You're right. There's just they need the funds. For the real legitimate officers that are trying to do their jobs. The men in blue in Winston really work really hard to try to provide for the community that they serve. And that's what they do. They really work hard to do their jobs. But the sad truth is, you also got a lot of police officers who they seem to think that they're above the law because they wear the badge and says, I am the law. Well, unfortunately for them, they're not very well liked by anybody. Skunk Ape says homeless people do not need to live in high rent states like California. They need to move to areas with lower cost of living. Craig Senior says, Skunk, good to see you this morning. David Clay said, Beijing, Biden's America. Well, the thing is don't forget, Skunk, the problem is the people in California probably are living there because that's where they were from. Maybe they originally had houses. They were local California people that just kind of didn't want to leave all their friends and family behind. And so now they're living in their cars or vans if they have one, or worse, if they're living on the streets or in sleeping rough if they don't. But the truth is, they didn't want to leave their friends and family behind. But the friends and family can't put them up because there's no place to put them. Don't forget there's 3 divisions of homeless. One is, I'm going to say, transient homeless. These are the men and women that sleep from place to place, friends' houses. They don't have a fixed address, but they do They sleep at friends' houses, crash on friends' couches. And the second class of homeless is the mobile homeless. These are the ones that have vans and, motor vehicles, campers, trucks, whatever, that they're sleeping in. So, in other words, they sleep in their vehicles. And the third class, and probably the lowest class and the most struggling, is the on foot homeless. The on foot homeless are the ones that don't have trucks, don't have friends to depend on, wear their feet out to the bone, basically need to see a podiatrist to really seriously fix some really serious foot issues, and cannot get the care they need. Their shoes are falling apart, they are miserable. And of course, the last two groups are also the ones that are likely to need access to a sanitary, a toilet, and can't. And so they end up basically pooping in the street because there's no place to go. Depending on the city you're in, there may not be public toilets available to you, or a public shower for that matter, for those to shower. Those guys and gals are the ones that are struggling the most. Is the last one, but the ones that live in their cars still struggle because they don't have a place to take a shower. That's just an example of what I call the frustration of what our system has done by having subdivisions of homeless people.
Well, not only that, Michelle, but across all divisions that you laid out, I think you agree with me that a lot of the homeless people are mentally ill.
A lot of them are
and they're not
mentally
getting
ill.
the care they need.
But a lot of the new homeless are going to be families with children.
Yeah.
Who's going to take care of the children? I mean, sure, some of them may have anxiety issues and depression issues, but just be honest here, though, Gianni, if you basically had everything together and you tried to get all the rental help you could, and you just couldn't get the rent mortgage assistance, and then the sheriff shows up to your house with his guns drawn and telling you to get your stuff and get out. Well, first of all, that would definitely be an anxiety issue right there for some people.
Yeah. Welcome back. You're looking good. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, I don't know about that, but I made sure when I had all that time
the government policing, Chicago asking for federal help. Carlos said, "It's getting crazy now. People are literally walking in stores and walking out with groceries, carjackings, robberies, murder. How do we really fix that? Is this a move to bring in government policing?" Well, technically, Carlos, there is, the government is policing. Because it's your city and state governments that provide the policing services. The federal government can't even figure out what to do about its debt ceiling because they the risk of they couldn't resolve that. They were supposed to do that on Monday. They didn't even do that, as far as I know. Janet Yellen said that she's going to have to do extraordinary measures to protect the Americans' bond rating because Congress couldn't give a damn to fix the debt ceiling issue. Extended families should live together when money's tight. A lot of them do. Skunkgate. But a lot of them also don't have the room to take on multiple family members because they're also living in a small home. Not everybody lives in a place as big as the Branch Davidians in Waco, Texas. Okay, not everybody has a compound that large to have 20, 7 or 8, 9, 10 people living in the one home together. Yes, most are mentally ill. We need these mental institutions. It's, yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. However, the problem with the mental institutions, as we learned from the Victorian era, the sanitariums, they they weren't all that good. Some of them really didn't help the patients at all, but turned the patients into guinea pigs for horrible, diabolical laboratory experiments. The ones that they didn't even have the right to sign off or basically opt out of. So, we need to be careful with that. Craig Sr. says, Michelle, I just know Santa Rosa, California, and Rosie was saying the homeless have places to stay in nice buildings only if they're drug free. So some of them choose their own fate. That's true. Yes, it's true. Yeah, you're gonna have that. Why not make love to
I've
Miss?
been in some of
Why not
those
make love to Miss Mary Jane?
homeless.
Or why don't you make love to Miss
I've
Budweiser? Are you ready too? Because it makes you
I've
feel
done
good
work in
inside.
those some
I
of
mean,
those
it's what
homeless
they're
shelters,
thinking.
and they're not very nice. It's a constant smell of feces and urine, and it's a really bad place. A lot of these shelters, I don't know all of them.
Yeah. Some of them are just as bad as the immigration centers when we were blaming people saying the children were living in cages. It's not much different. We also
So
need to
anyhow, I've
open
been
poorhouses and take the children away. All right, hold on a second here. To take the children away, what are you going to do? Turn them into Oliver Twist? Excuse me, sir. Can I have more? No, you can't. No. Why? Because you're poor little stupid kid. That's why. Is that what you want? Do you want to create the equivalent of Fagin? So poor Oliver Twist can't even get another piece of bread. You think the foster care system's any better? Trust me, it's not. Okay. Truth is, we're already doing that with the illegals. What is that going to help? How does that help the children? It doesn't. What is it going to do for American children when you take them away from their mom and dad? It's not going to help them. It's not going to help their parents. That's not the answer either. There's actually people with poorhouses, and the whole families lived in those in the Victorian era. It wasn't just a small group of people living in the workhouses. There were families living in there. But what happens when you have no more room in the workhouse? Then where are you going to send the rest of them? The same problem. Skunky. Orphanages, foster care. The system can be abusive to children. Welcome to... I don't know. How about concentration camps? We already got that.
Jesus.
We already have work camps. What did we do to the American Japanese? World War II was not the solution. No, we need to find a better solution, guys. One that's humane and effective and works. Okay, we need to find a solution that doesn't take away a person's dignity. It still gives them a chance to prove their worth to society. Society is going to want people to return on investment. They want an ROI. So if you're going to basically put you up in a workhouse or a sanitarium, whatever, then you're going to have to find a way to make it worth the expense of the community to help you. And that's what a lot of people who are on disability try to do. We could talk about that. That's a whole nother kettle of fish. But basically, theoretically, the way it goes now is the federal government is to dysfunctional to realize that we created part of this problem as a country. How you doing, Andrew? Oh, if they don't work, they don't eat. Well, it was the same thing with the workhouses. Wasn't any different. Andrew, since you're here, you want to join us on the panel? Because right now Gianni's delivering mail, so he can't really talk much. But he wants to listen to the show. And if you want to come on the panel to join me, so we can have a nice rapport, because that would be great. It'll get worse before it gets better. Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. It's going to get worse before it gets better. All good. Thanks, Michelle. Been a busy one today. I will not be able to jump on panel. I need to go dry clean this very shortly. Oh, you mean to dry clean your suit? Oh, yeah. You always look so good when you're dressed in your blazer. I mean, you always look so good dressed in your blazer. Yeah. I always look good on that, just like that. Have to do a Zoom meeting thing due to being off sick. Yeah.
Does he have to wear pants?
They have to wear pants for the meeting. Well, yeah, I would. Of course, he's going to get his suit laundered for his Zoom meeting, and yeah, Andrew's a really cute, well dressed guy. He dresses to the nines. I like guys dressed to the nines, and especially when they're attractive and they're well groomed. I like that. Yes. Yes, going tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as you can hear, Gianni's pretty busy putting mail in his mailboxes for his customers on his route there. And
is it making a lot of noise?
Yeah, it makes a lot of noise, but I'm sure the audience doesn't mind the background noise. Maybe somebody's helping someone think. No, for Zoom is fine. You're chatting with the other workers. Yeah. Right. I'm not suggesting you know, but when you're obviously dealing with the customers, yeah, you gotta look good. Your boss expects nothing less. In the hospitality trade, they really want everybody well groomed and looking good for the job. Poverty for a lot of people is a state of mind, almost as said fulfilling hypocrisy. Yeah, because some people think they can't be anything better than that, which is not necessarily true. You can be better than that. You can be better than that. You just gotta put a little effort into it. The problem is that some people kind of feel like, what's the point? In other words, they're self-defeating. Their attitudes in life is, what's the point? I can't achieve success, blah, blah, blah. My world sucks, Yeah, well, you know what? That's kind of self-defeating. You're assuming you can't do anything. But that's not the case. Because you can achieve a lot of things in life. If you take a positive attitude, you can turn things around. You can turn that frown upside down. It didn't say it was going to be easy. It didn't say it was going to be instant. And Andrew says, are people starting to get evicted there? Yes, unfortunately. Yes, they are, as Carlos said. He sees videos of sheriffs already serving papers. Yes, so some landlords have already started the process. Yeah, all existing restrictions were announced today. You guys are so damn lucky. Oh, we still have restrictions here, but they're not as much of an issue in Connecticut. But the thing is our federal government can't make up their mind what they're gonna do. They're like, should we require kids, even babies, to wear masks? Should we require 21-year-olds to wear masks? Should we fine them, penalize them, jail them, put them in prison by not wearing a mask? Should we refuse to give them service in restaurants and in grocery stores if they don't wear a mask? Let me just tell you, a good portion of Americans are saying no to the mask. They're saying this is bullshit. That's all I'm gonna say. YouTube, if you get mad at me about that, at least let me defend my statements, okay? Michelle, my mailman Nick is a wonderful person. We always treat him well on holidays. He'll stop in and I'll give him an ice water or sit and have a couple of iced tea with us. He's a great guy. So's Gianni, from what I can hear. Gianni is a good guy too. He's a postman also. That's why you hear him delivering the mail right now. That's what he's doing. He's on his beat right now delivering his mail. Occasionally taking a moment to speak.
I'm on a little break right now.
Oh, not a little break right now. Oh, so you can take a little break, so to speak?
Yeah.
Alright.
I got a good handle on the day.
No, Skunkgate, no one's gonna do workhouses or debtors' prisons. Okay? It's not gonna happen. Not in this country, anyway. That's why we have bankruptcy courts. That's why we have bankruptcy laws in this country. We did not want to create an debtor's prison, which is indentured servitude, which is exactly how the slave trade became to be a thing. So they want to give vaccines to 12-year-olds now, which I totally am against, but I won't mention any more of it. Do you know there was a fully vaccinated politician that got the Delta variant? And if I would see what his personal expression was that he said about this, just to say it one word, not very convinced that it's working. Okay.
Of course it's not working. There isn't like a long history with this COVID-19. And there was a big rush by private companies, obviously, to get this vaccine out.
Right.
And obviously, you want to get your product on the shelf as soon as possible so you make the most money.
Right.
Like they can say whatever about, oh, went through the same rigorous testing. It didn't. You just want to get it out so you can sell it, especially if the government was paying you somewhat to get the product out. I don't know exactly like how the financial thing works, but definitely there was federal money involved in getting that vaccine out as soon as possible. And if there's money, then the shortcut's being made.
Well, the thing is the thing is that the vaccines is, the first three strains pretty much have been dealt with. The fourth one, the vaccines are not currently formulated to deal with the fourth strain, and damn well there's going to be a fifth.
Yeah, like.
It just starts you on a treadmill.
If you put an obstacle in front of it, it'll find a way around it. So I wouldn't be surprised if these variants are caused by the introduction of a vaccine.
Right.
It's just the same reason why they have so many different antibiotics, because some viruses become immune. They evolved, they have mutations, and they evolved in accordance to the vaccine's or the antibiotics that are introduced to them.
Yes, Concave, I know that Donald Trump was bankrupt 3 times. Yes. He has the right to access the bankruptcy system, as does every American. Just because you're a multi-billionaire does not mean that you don't make mistakes in business. Okay? He never denied he went into bankruptcy court. That happens to a lot of people. The other strains may be less dangerous, though. The other strains may be less dangerous, but it seems like the ones that are coming out now are even more virulent and stronger.
Yeah.
They started out probably from one of the lesser strains. Originally, there was the LNS variant. Then there was the alpha, beta, and gamma. And now we have delta, and then they're gonna have epsilon next. Remember, it's just the same thing as bullies and street gangs. The one that's the most successful bully is the one that survives all the cops and all the other gang members. So, yeah, it's gonna mutate. This thing is mutating so fast. Something tells me it doesn't seem like it's quite natural. I think it's. I mean, it may have been partially natural, but then they kind of did what they do with GMOs, and the next thing you know, they turned into something completely unnatural, Frankenstein proportions. Come on in and have a nice cold iced tea, mailman. Work very hard. It's not as easy as a job as you might think. Behind the scenes, all you see them doing is coming to your door, and 99% of them are great. Yes, I know they are. They have, like in the case of Gianni's case, he's on foot all the time. He's walking. He does not have a truck. So he has a foot route. And that means that for him, he has to walk and deliver the mail to his customers. Just be quite lucky.
But there are pros to that, though. Not like I said before. Not having a truck means I don't have to deliver packages.
Oh, that's true.
I don't have to deal with that, especially the way Americans love to spend their money they don't have. I mean, during the pandemic, I would see in the office all the packages, and I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I know that the government was giving extra $600 to everyone on unemployment, but that can't last forever. And people should probably save their money, but why would they save their money? They're just going to get more.
Well, some of them, the low-income people, use that money for paying, the bills and trying to help get the rent paid. It was the people in the upper income brackets that used the money for buying frivolous extras they didn't need.
Well, I thought at the time, like, I was definitely in favor of helping Americans with, loss of income during the pandemic, but I thought they could have went a better route and maybe gave people like pretty much like SNAP or EBT benefits.
Yeah, well, we got SNAP. It's funny. It's the one program that they kind of keep telling us is going to expire in September. Or in my case, I think it's September. The question is why don't you keep the SNAP EBT? It helps the farmers anyway. It helps the grocery stores. What's wrong with that? Give it to those who really need it the most. The ones that are struggling financially.
That's the last form of aid that should be cut. I mean, that should go without saying that we should keep those benefits for people, not Amazon benefits.
Yeah.
pretty much what a lot of the benefits went to.
Amazon and eBay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The companies that don't even pay taxes.
Yeah, exactly. Crazy, but I paid more in
Kyle
taxes.
said a
Jeff
plague released on the earth. This was all planned. Oh yeah, it's definitely. Oh yes. By the way, the Black Death is not off the menu either, guys. I hate to say this. If you live in Los Angeles, the Black Death is just right around the corner. Probably the exact same reasons that it killed all those people in the Middle Ages in Europe. Rats. And the same is true with New York City and the homeless and rats and fecal matter and everything else. Yeah, rats. They're going to be getting more and more concerns of the Black Death because of unsanitary conditions. So, you think COVID is your only concern? Nope. Nope. Sorry. I hate to wake you up to the reality, but it's not just COVID. I saw people in the casino blowing stimulus money. Well, soup kitchens do have their places, but unfortunately, the problem with the soup kitchen is it takes a lot of money to run a soup kitchen. And some people, like myself, don't mind the soup kitchen. But there are some people that a soup kitchen, like in a small community, may not be a practical thing. If you have if you live in a community of like a small village or township, that only has like 300, 400 people, and only about 10 of them need a soup kitchen. It's not going to make economic sense to run a soup kitchen in a town that only needs a soup kitchen for 10 people. So you got to find a balance to make it where it is feasible to run a soup kitchen. Or where it's balanced, go ahead and consider just giving everybody additional EBT food stamp benefits. There was a case of monkeypox outbreak, 200 people infected. They won't tell us about it though, as it's curable now. Never heard of monkeypox, but oh, makes sense. Why not? And I definitely think the news is definitely sensationalizing a lot of the stories. There's absolutely no money to be made in stories that cannot be sensationalized. It doesn't get the views, doesn't get the advertising dollars. Gee, that sounds like YouTube, doesn't it? Yes, unfortunately, it's just like YouTube. Big media works the same way. I know that a big story is going to be bringing in the big advertisers and the big money. Human interest stories with happy endings just don't get the kind of viewership versus a human interest story where everybody dies miserably. Those are the ones that do better. Casey says, Johnny, I was just going to ask you, Gianni, just so I was going to ask you about that mailman. Nick has a truck, and the amount of HSN and QVC packages he has to pick up every day are ridiculous. Yeah. Home Shopping Network and QVC Shop at Home. I don't know. Johnny, how many packages would you say the average truck carrying mailman actually puts in the truck every day?
I would guess roughly about 100, a little over 100 maybe. It all depends on how big they are. And
Right. So it's still a lot of packages. So then they go and deliver them door to door. That's a lot of boxes. Plus, you have to worry
they
about,
work on Sunday too.
making sure to put them in the right places so that no one steals them. What, Michelle? I gave both of my stimulus checks to my elderly man next door neighbor who was barely holding on to her home. Her husband had passed away 18 years ago, and it's been very hard for her. Unfortunate. Well, thank you. I think she appreciates that. Yeah, I think that a lot of people that received this last few stimuluses that were financially doing well could have easily given away the money to charity. I don't think a lot of them did, though. Carlos said, actually, Andrew says first, well, Craig, nice one, respect for you there. Carlos says, let me say scenario. China attacks Taiwan and kicks off World War III. Pakistan fires or sets off a attack nuke in India. This virus is still out of control. The meteor hits the ocean. California hit with. No, China does not want to kill. Does not want to hit Taiwan. No. But as far as Pakistan and India, that's not impossible. I don't know why Pakistan and India just can't work it out. They both have nuclear weapons. They both could kill each other. I don't know why. Hell, maybe even India could basically do what they did in the Middle Ages: take all the dead, rotting corpses with COVID-19, and basically put them in ballistas and trebuchets and just throw them over Pakistani walls. I don't think Pakistan would like all those dead bodies sitting on their side of the border. Andrew, my dad had his own business, and I ran it after he passed. And I was very fortunate that I'm not rich, but I'm just comfortable. I haven't got much left over at the end of the month, but I'm okay.
Morning.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
It would be a disaster economically for the Chinese. Yeah. A 9.0 earthquake. Can you say we are really? Yeah, I know we already are. We already are. It's not even. It's just like I said to Mother God when I was walking home one day. I said, Mom, I'm ready to go to the next life. This one is just about done as far as I'm concerned. She says, no, Michelle, it's not over yet. You still got a ways to go. I'm like, okay, fine. But I'm ready to go whenever you want me to go. It's hard to say. It's just like Doris Day saying "Que sera, sera." What will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Okay, we don't know when it's going to be the worse or better. We can't say. I wish I could give you a definitive answer and say everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be, Scooby Doo groovy. Yeah, well, I can't, unfortunately. I wish I could. I don't know. People are just struggling, that's all I can tell you. Do you have a prediction for 22? Not really. No, I don't have a prediction for 22. I don't really know what's going to happen in 22. All I know is that I'm going to be doing the same old thing I'm doing right now with YouTube in 22. Okay? They're going to have the midterms in 22. There's going to be, it's been predicted by several political analysts, a lot of Democrats are going to be out of a job in 22. the world will be a couple or more million less people using up the resources in 22. That's all I can tell you. Andrew says, yeah, I hear you with that, Craig. It's good that you can help people in that way. However, most people need to think of others. Community spirit is lacking these days. Yes, absolutely. Carlos, I agree with you 100%. I just got a notice from Santa Rosa, California, that as of Tuesday masks are on to be worn in stores and when you're out in public. Michelle, how many units does your landlord have in your building? 10. He has 10 units plus 3 commercial storefronts, and they're all vacant. The storefronts are totally vacant. He uses the last one for his storage area, but he has 3 commercial units plus the restaurant downstairs, which is in another building next door that the last restaurant tour couldn't make any money on it, so he left. So he has 2 retail units and a restaurant available downstairs. So, it's a good example of what everybody's talking about. As far as the soup kitchen, I'm gonna be honest. Today, I don't know what they're serving, but what Ed's concerned about his gout. He's wondering what he should be eating because he doesn't want to set up another flare up. Because he's just starting to get back to where he could be functioning again. So he's not sure if he wants to eat the soup kitchen or not. I personally can't blame him, because the soup kitchen keeps focusing on donations because that's what they depend on. And the problem is that they also love the mayonnaise, and the problem is I can't eat the food with mayonnaise in their sandwiches or anything. So it's still getting better, yes, but he doesn't want to relapse. That's why he asked me to get him an egg and cheese muffin from Cumberland Farms this morning. He gave me the bacon strips from it. Well, I ate the bacon, but I already had a two sausage egg and cheese muffins myself, which were okay. I think the ones from McDonald's are a little bit better tasting, but they were okay. I was able to buy those on my food stamps. So,
I know in France, for example, they do require grocery stores to, I don't know exactly how it's worded, but to donate any excess food instead of just throwing it away.
Yeah, they do
I
that
wish
Stop
they did
and Shop.
something
The
like
Winds
that
did
here.
too.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Mostly breads or things that may not necessarily be totally expired, but maybe shelf worn, like, big boxes that may be, dinged or dented or something that's not quite in pristine condition. Or the milk that may be just on the edge of expiration that just basically is just past the expiration date that they can't sell after midnight, and then they give that to the soup kitchen. Often the milk is still good.
Yeah, because I know most of the food that is thrown away is just to make room for the next batch of food.
Right.
It's like, because they order food not like bi-monthly. They have it like ordered for the year.
Yeah, they pre-order the food supplies that they need. Yeah. Based on the trends analysis of what's going to sell, what's not going to sell. Stores don't try to buy more than they can sell. Well, nearly out of date. So, let me see how many people are actually still on here anyway. I'm just curious. So it's almost time for me to get. It's almost time for me to deal with 14 people. Wow, that's not bad. Looks like at one point we were up to higher than that. 15 people. Well, at one point it looks like we were up to 16. We're doing pretty good today. Please, guys, don't forget the likes. Please click the like. You guys can click the like and share the videos with everybody. It really would help us a lot. To get these shows out to people and to educate and inspire people. Really helps. It doesn't cost anything to put a share and a like out to your friends. Helps us to get to more people to hear what we're saying, and they may enjoy the conversation themselves too. You know, I mean, Gianni's trying his best to do his job, as you can hear. At the same time, he's trying to also be a part of the show as well, which I appreciate that.
Okay.
15 now. Yep. So the problem is that I don't know what the soup kitchen's serving for lunch. I have no idea what they're serving for lunch. Well,
Hopefully
you know
it's
what?
not eggs.
Why don't we call the soup kitchen right now real quick and find out? And if it's something that doesn't look appetizing, we can just go ahead and just get something on food stamps later. Yeah, let me quickly call the soup kitchen and see what they're having for lunch. Alright, guys. Okay, so let me just call them real quick here. Yeah, George, this is me. What you guys having for lunch today? It's what? Pork dinner. Alright, okay, it's pork dinner. I don't know. Pork is okay, I guess. It's not. Right now, the problem is that I don't know if it can eat pork. You see, I don't know enough about gout to know what you can eat, so I don't know if you can eat pork or not. Because, I mean, well, I'm trying to get him back on his feet, not sabotage him. Michelle, an apartment in the ground floor was to open up. Do you think you would be take it rather than dealing with the stairs? Well, there is no apartments in this building on the ground floor. There is apartments next door that the landlord owns called Home Place. That has a ground floor apartments that he originally did offer me last year in June. The problem was in June it was a 2-bedroom apartment, and he wanted at the time $900 a month rent. Plus, I still had to pay $800 a month rent. But then I still had to pay the back rent, which I was still paying last year. So it would have been $1,000 a month. In that apartment, I had to pay for my own heat, my own hot water, my own cooking gas and electric. And I just kind of was like, I don't think I could afford that. That was a little bit much because I already was paying him back rent, $900 a month. That was $200 for the back rent per month for until the end of September, and then I was back down to $700. But then when I was going to pay him the $700 in October, he said, "I'm sorry, I have to ask for $800 a month because my expenses went up." So, is Ed working for a hotel? No, it's not working for a hotel. Andrew works in a hotel, not Ed. I think pork is fine for gout. I'll have to ask Ed what he wants because it's up to him to make a decision if he wants that or not. Right now, yeah, let me go see what Ed wants to do with the pork, if he's interested in pork barrel politics or pork barrel lunch. All right, guys, listen, I want to say thank you for everybody that came here today, including Gianni. I want to say I hope that you had a nice day on your route. And I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Normal time. Okay. So do me a favor, stay out of trouble, guys, and I hope you have a nice day. Alright? Bye bye,
Catch you later,
guys.
Michelle. Make sure you take care of yourself.
Alright. Yeah, you take care of yourself too, okay? Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get ready to get going to the kitchen. Let's see what Ed wants to do. And do please stay safe. Yeah, and you stay safe too. And please do share these videos with your friends, your family, your YouTube, your Discord, your communities that you're all part of. Let's get these videos out there to the eyes and ears of the public. Let's see this channel grow. We're already at 1,061 subs. Let's go to 1,081 subs. Let's go to 1,100 subs. We can do it. We can do it. I know we can. Alright, guys. Well, for now, I just want to say thank you very much for watching the show. Stay safe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.